Hey, we're back to Thorytime Thursdays. As the interview's going on from last time, starting with the next part, I actually can't remember what I did prior to this, so I don't know if I gave her the gory details or if I just ignored the whole question about my injuries or what, but here we are with the next part. Looks like I'm joking with the interviewer. No. I'll be sure to throw the next pitch all the way to the backstop, you say. So that'll count as another 1.5 pitches and get me up to an even 3. Makes it simple for the scorekeepers. Oh, Lord, she says, laughing. I'm sure it was a proud moment to finally fulfill your lifelong dream of pitching in the... Oh, Lord. She can't finish her sentence without laughing again. She's clearly not too worried about your injury. Cruz continues, I knew you'll probably be out of action for a while, but this was your debut, and I ask all the rookies this question when they come up. What is your main goal for your career in the majors? What one thing do you want to accomplish no matter what? Think big with this one. What do I say? I want to help the Bulls win a world championship. I want to learn all I can and discover the secret of pitching. I want to express my personal style on the world stage. I want to make the league fear my name. Let's go with that perfect pitch. I actually wonder if you can... Nothing about backstepping a decision. Then again, I did stop midway, so I probably saved it no matter what. I want to learn all I can and discover the secret of pitching. You can ask my minor league coaches and they'll tell you. I'm a real student of the game, you say. I find pitching fascinating as a mental exercise as much as a physical, and I hope one day to find a new way to pitch that works better than anything that's ever been done before. Cruz sounds curious. Never heard an answer quite like that one before. Well, I better let you go. Good luck with your recovery, and I'm sure I'll see a lot more of you next year. A week later. Your left arm is in a brace. The elbow's set at a right angle. Your Tommy John surgery was a success, but you'll be out of action rebuilding your elbow for at least 10 months. You're sitting upright in what must be the world's stiffest chair in a small room with Carolina blue walls. You're here to meet your assigned physical therapist, but first you have to wait in this room. There's a signed hockey jersey on the wall for somebody named LaGrange. You've never heard of him. Maybe a local minor league athlete? One part of your brain thinks that your team has cheaped out on your physical therapy. Do they really think so little of your potential? Another part of your brain slaps that part for being silly and insecure. You're a major leaguer now, technically. Just as you're about to cave into boredom and flip through an issue of personal fitness, your physical therapist arrives. 1,000,000 apologies, she says while hunched over, cradling an oversized stack of papers and trying to gently close the door. She succeeds in only dropping one sheet. Hey, there you go. Achievement unlocked, which somehow manages to float back under the closed door, forcing her to reopen the door, grab the paper off the floor, then scuttle back in. She hurriedly ties her already short hair up into a barely existent ponytail. My name's Julie Chang. I'm afraid I've got some homework for you. She grabs about a third of the huge stack of papers she brought in and holds them in your direction. These are for your first month or so. Take your homework. You're going to come into the office here a bunch, Chang says. But you have to do these exercises at home as well, so your recovery is on me, but it's on you too. Get impatient and do things too fast, and you'll end up back here again in 2 years. You start to flip through the sheets of paper. They describe grip exercises, dumbbell workouts, and new ways to stretch. Pitching always came naturally to you, so you've never really put this much thought into ways to work out and improve your arm. I know it's a lot of stuff all at once, she continues. It'll be good for you in the long run. Lots of pitchers think elbow surgery makes them throw harder, but here's the truth. All that surgery rehab makes them pay attention to fitness in a way they never have before. Do this right and you'll come out of this a better pitcher. A few lectures, some stretching, exercises, and another set of lectures. You head back home. There's not much you can do with your left arm, but you can work out some other way while you've got nothing better to do. What do? Start taking long walks every day. I need to keep my fitness up as best as I can. I focus on my grip exercises. With a strong grip, I can improve my changeup. I work on shoulder exercises. Shoulder strength will improve my fastball velocity. Well, let's worry about the changeup. The exercises are slow, repetitive, and boring. But hopefully the results will show when you're allowed to throw again. Meanwhile, you get to catch up on all those TV shows you weren't watching back when you were throwing baseballs every day. What are people watching these days anyway? A few months in, the elbow pain is barely noticeable compared to what it once was. You're allowed to move your arm freely and even do some light athletic activities. What do you focus on for the next few months of rehab? I work hard on light dumbbell exercises. More strength means faster pitches. I can't really throw, but I'm allowed to stimulate my throwing motion. That'll help my control. Cheng says I can play golf now, so why not? Cross-training will slightly improve several aspects of my game. I was concerned with the change-up, so let's go with control. That makes sense. 7 months in and you're finally allowed to throw whatever you want. So as long as it's not on a pitching mound, you may never get another chance to add a curveball or slider to your repertoire. So now's a good time to do that if you haven't already. How do you train for the last few months of your rehab? Gonna stick to long toss. Work on it hard enough and I'll improve my velocity. I go with a weighted ball routine. Throwing with different weights teaches better control. Should take time to improve my curveball. Maybe now I can develop a slider. It says improve curveball. It means I have a curveball, but it doesn't seem like I have a slider, so let's work on that. An old high school teammate taught you a slider grip years ago, so you've always toyed around with that in practice. But with this extended time off, you throw it over and over until you're comfortable using it in a game. The baseball season ends and winter sets in. Mind-numbing it as it is sometimes, you just feel back to normal. Julie Chang said your velocity might even improve with the added attention to fitness, but so far that hasn't been the case. You suppose it's okay so long as the elbow holds together. It feels like you're spotting the ball better in the exercises than you ever did in the minors. Hard to tell without a real hitter to face, but you could almost swear your mechanics have become rock solid. One thing's for sure, you're in better shape than you were before. Pitching demands a lot of your arm, but the rest of your body can get a little loose if you don't watch it. Being more fit will mean you will play better defense and throw better deep into the games than before. You're thrilled when March comes around. Pitchers and catchers report and your arm is in good shape. Slightly ahead of schedule. The waiting and hard work is over. It's time to be a big league pitcher. Year 2. Comeback kid. Alright, who's it gonna be this year? Your manager, Sandy Kingston, says she walks out onto your spring training field in Surprise, Arizona, waving a 31-ounce bat in front of her like she's clearing jungle brush. She stops briefly and brings the bat to her ear, as if it were whispering something to her. Her eyes scan the crowd of pitchers and catchers in the outfield, throwing long toss. Apparently the bat finished whatever it was saying to her, so Kingston starts marching forward, straight towards you. She squares up with you, then places her bat on the ground like a cane and leans on it, staring up at you just below the brim of her hat as if to intimidate. Looks like it's you this year, Winnchester, says your catcher, Andres de la Rosario. As everyone stops throwing and closes in to watch the spectacle, his face becomes suddenly serious, though he keeps chewing gum behind his thin, meticulously groomed beard and lantern jaw. Every year, one of the rookies has to pitch to the boss, and since you only threw, less than an inning last year, I'm afraid you're still a rookie. What do you say? Bring it. This should be fun. I can't do that. Are you serious? What if I hit her by accident? Why me and not one of the other rookies? If I don't strike her out, I owe somebody $10. You know what? Whether it's Winnchester or me, if I don't strike her out, I owe somebody $10. I'll take you up on that, says one of the other pitchers, a 5'10" lefty named Emma Mendez. She knows how to put the bat on the ball. I'll pay you 10 if you manage to strike her out. But that won't be the only thing you're wagering. We have a tradition. If she gets a solid hit off you, you go straight down to minor league camp. It happened to me 2 years ago. The manager says nothing as she continues to stare you down. But she was a weird case, Rosario says. Mendez had just come out of playing cricket in Sri Lanka her whole life. At least you know you're not supposed to bounce the ball off the ground every time like she did. And Boss's playing days have been over a long time. Even when she did play, her career batting average was, about .198 or something? Kingston cracks a smile. I hit .204, asshole, she says. And I threw more runners out than you will if you play 30 years, Rosie. All right, enough talk. Let's do this. You're catching, Rosie. And somebody better get over here and call balls and strikes. Head to the mound. It's been a year since you actually stood on a mound. You paw at the dirt in front of the pitching rubber with one cleat as you go through the pitching process in your mind. You choose which pitches to throw to hitters. Depending on your abilities, each pitch will have a certain chance of being a strike, a ball, or a hit into play. A ball hit into play could be anything from a ground out to a home run, depending on your attributes as a pitcher. The more you throw the same pitch in a single at-bat, the more the batter gets a feel for the timing of that pitch, making them more likely to hit it. So vary your pitches to keep the hitter off balance. If you're ahead in the count, try throwing a waste pitch. A waste pitch is intentionally thrown well out of the strike zone, where the hitter should have little chance of making contact. If you get 2 early strikes, use a waste pitch or 2 because it has a chance of getting the hitter out without risking hard contact. Let's see here. Let's look at the numbers. Fastball, 51% strike, 25% ball, 24% in play. Curveball, 46% strike, 45% ball, 10% in play. Slider, 46% strike, 41% ball, 14 in play. Changeup, 51% strike, 40% ball, 10% in play. Waste pitch, 5% strike, 94% ball, 1% in play. So those are my options, guys. What are we doing? What are we doing? Tell you what, I really need your help on this, guys, so let me know in the comments. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, or just waste a pitch. Because this one will decide if I go back to minor league camp or not. I technically just spent a year redeveloping my arm. Do I really want to go back to the minors? I mean, fastball seems the most obvious. Get it out of the way, right down the middle, frozen rope, boom. Problem solved. That depends on how fast my fastball actually is. Curveball's got that natural, curve to it. Might throw some batters off. Others can see right through it. Sliders are tricky in their own. And I've been toying with this whole changeup thing. So there's that. A waste pitch so early, what's the point? So yeah, in the comments, tell me, fastball, curveball, slider, changeup, or waste pitch. I really want to show what I can do, guys. But that'll be a story for a different day. So this is it for the next chapter of Thorytime Thursdays. let's get some sleep.